today I have the wonderful pleasure of speaking with Pam Kerlan, who heads up our client engagement team at a typical agency. It would be the account managers, basically. And today we're going to start with the experience of working at Copy and Art in the client service area and kind of what differentiates us. And we want to highlight some of the brilliant women at Copy and Art this month because it is March and that is Women's History Month. Without further ado, I welcome Pam Kerlan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today.
Yes, awesome. I want you to talk to our audience a little bit about how you approach your job as the head of the client engagement department with us at Copy and Art. And I know you take your role extremely seriously, and the relationship you have with our clients is a cornerstone of the business. So talk to us a little bit about what you feel, you do to differentiate yourself, or what makes us different and better, or whatever, wherever you want to take that conversation.
I think that when you first meet a client or you're growing with a client, in either case, it's really important to know that client both personally and professionally. So personally, you want to know their experience, you want to know about their family, you want to know how long they've been with the company, and just facts that are going to kind of give you the larger picture of who you're working with. Because once you know each other and can build that foundation of trust and friendship, you can really, it's a great platform for then building a business success. And the other thing we like to know is really delve deep into what their business is. So make sure we have a in-depth understanding of the industry, who the client is within that industry, what their business objectives are, and where they're looking to be, not only with this current project, but in a year, 5 years, and kind of see how we can build with them in that way. So just really understanding who they are as a person and as well as their organization is critical, I feel, in differentiating Copy and Art, because we really take the time to do that. Understand our client and their business.
So tell me a little bit about your career and kind of what you feel like in your past experiences has led you to this moment, makes you really well suited for this type of work.
So my career has been business development and marketing have been a common thread throughout my career. I love working with people and have throughout every single point in my career. And I've also developed a in-depth knowledge of healthcare, of commercial businesses, of larger consulting firms. So a vast array of different businesses and industries that I can add value to here at Copy and Art. And I think just learning how to work with different clients, see what it takes to achieve their success, and also see how Copy and Art can differentiate itself by maybe filling in those gaps where other advertising agencies have not, I think is a great thing that we do at Copy and Art as well. And some of those are just the pillars of success that we build upon, which include response time. So for example, I think the average response time is 4 days for an email, but at Copy and Art, it's about all of 4 minutes. We pride ourselves on responding to clients as soon as possible, because one of the most frustrating things of working with an advertising agency or any vendor is that they don't respond to you in a timely manner, and opportunities can be missed, inefficiencies can be created, and it's really important to know that your advertising agency has your best interest at heart and they want to respond to you as soon as they possibly can. So that's something that we do here to differentiate Copy and Art. Another thing we do is we always try to add value. We're not satisfied with just delivering the assets that we've told you on the proposal or you've asked for on the proposal. We always want to deliver extra value to our clients, something that's going to take this project above and beyond to exceed their expectations. And we want to do that because we want our clients' businesses to do well. And we think that by adding this value, it's going to take that project to the next level. Something else that we pride ourselves on here at Copy and Art is flexibility. We are an agile agency. We understand things come up, especially in this year that we've just been through. We know direction can change or objectives can change. And we know we have to be flexible with our clients, and they need someone that will work with them given any circumstance that may arise. And the last thing that I think really sets us apart is that we deliver exceptional creative on time and within budget. And that doesn't always happen. And at Copy and Art, we really pride ourselves on meeting those criteria because we know how important that is to our clients.
Awesome. Well, clearly you're very prepared for this interview because you hit them all on the nose, which I can appreciate. I kind of feel like that's what it is to work with you, Pam. I kind of feel like you know what you're getting into, and then you have your list and you go check, 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 check. So talk to me about your strategy for preparedness for your clients and kind of how you, because you have a team, so like how do you work with your team to ensure that you might meet a client at the onset, but maybe they're working with one of your team members. Like, what does that transition of power look like?
So I think for me and my team, the goal is to make our clients' lives easier. That's what we aim to do. So the number one important thing is that when you're on the phone with a client, you are prepared. You know exactly what they're looking for. You know what you think their business objectives are. And although that might change in the conversation, you've done your research based upon that. And you're really prepared for any meeting. You don't want to take away your client's time, or they're busy, so you don't want to use that ad hoc for just an open dialogue. You really want to be efficient when you get a client on a meeting. And in terms of how my team works is we have regular briefings on client projects. So although I might not be the face on a daily basis for some clients, I'm very much involved behind the scenes. We're all making sure we keep the client business objectives at the top of the list and ensure that every activity we do and every deliverable meets those business objectives. So while there is a team, it's a very close-knit team. We're all working towards the same goal, and we all have a very tight-knit relationship aimed at building our client's business.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about, like, from a business standpoint, you know this, our audience may or may not, but we're based in White Plains, New York, which is in Westchester County, New York. We're a suburb of New York City. Tell me, and quite frankly, we are hands down, I would say, the top creative agency option in Westchester. I'm not sure how many people know about us. We do some advertising on 914 Inc. We're part of Business Council of Westchester, but we've been around for 10 years, and I'm not sure if Westchester businesses know about us as much. Tell me a little bit about why a business in Westchester that's middle to larger, and who are our targets actually? Maybe you tell us, and why they should choose us and not go to New York City for an advertising agency.
So I think that's right on point. Our targets are mid to large size corporations or companies, and we are an advertising agency with large advertising agency experience with a small boutique feel. That means you get over 30 years of agency experience with much of our leadership team, or all of our leadership team, actually, for that matter. So 30 plus years of advertising agency experience right in your backyard, with a smaller client relationship feel, a tighter bond with clients. So you actually know the people that are working on your team and working on your business. So that's why I think a client in Westchester would select us, as well as we understand the Westchester business. So maybe for some of our clients that are in the Westchester area, it's important to really know the Westchester consumer, and we know them. We work here, we live here, and we're out and about here. So we really know who they are. And for the larger corporations, it's really expertise and access, which we can provide both.
Fantastic. No wonder you're a Copy and Art. I'm telling you. So tell me, the theme of the post video podcast was elevating the client experience. Do you feel like you've hit your key points as it relates to how we elevate the client experience? Anything you would add? I might talk a little bit about the creative interplay between your team and creative, or anything else you want to mention.
So I think just one more point I want to mention about the client experience is how much Copy and Art as an entire agency prioritizes the client experience. I know I have never been in another company or organization that prioritizes client experience as high as Copy and Art does. And I think that's really special. I think it takes a special agency to understand that a strong client relationship is really the top priority and can build a foundation that you can just both grow upon. So I think that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing is our creative team is so dynamic and puts out some of the best creative out there, whether it's video, print, digital, whatever it may be. Their minds start running the second my team, the account team may tell them what the business objectives are. They're off and running. They want to develop the best and most creative and innovative ideas out there for you. And I think that's really special. They just have their heart in the right place and their mind and their work ethic in the right place, that I have a really easy job. I sit down and tell them, I say what my clients would like to achieve in a business objective, and maybe how they would like to achieve it, maybe video, digital, and the creative team does an amazing job of translating that messaging into a phenomenal deliverable that just exceeds the client expectations.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I think that that's fantastic. I think one of the other things is the idea of different voices at the table. So at a lot of other agencies, let's say you're working on a commercial, a TV commercial, you wouldn't have any team members that are, let's say, less than 7 to 10 years at that shoot, but then you would lose the perspective of, let's say, even the target audience, right? If you're trying to hit social media, for instance. So what do you think that our creative approach means to clients? Like the fact that we believe in the voices and we give people the experience and we treasure the experience, but we also treasure all of the voices at the agency to better kind of create tactics for our clients.
Yeah, I think that ties right back to putting our client first, which means having every single voice at the table that we can gather. And I think we do that here at Copy and Art. Some of the junior staff have phenomenal knowledge about digital, website, social. And when we bring them to a shoot, they have a completely different perspective, or I don't want to say different, but the value they add or contribute at those shoots is above and beyond. They have different ways that they want to photograph something, or a sound bite like they'd like to see, or a vision in their eyes that they have of the way they would like a video shoot to go down. And I think at Copy and Art, we're really open to letting them try it. And I have to say, it's been really successful. And often those ideas make it past the cutting room table, and they really move beyond and add a very different and innovative dynamic to our creative.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think Copy and Art, everyone contributes. There's not, it really is. Everyone has their hand. If everyone's hand who touches the product has contributed something. And it really is amazing to see the different perspectives, the different visions, and all working towards the client's best interest.
I agree. What role do you feel attitude plays in the workplace, in your function, and then maybe at the greater agency at Copy and Art?
Attitude is everything. And we believe that at Copy and Art. We have a very fun, vivacious environment. We work really hard and we play really hard. And I think that's really an important aspect. We are a positive group of people. We are a collaborative group of people. And we want the best for each other and our clients. But wanting the best for each other only serves our clients in the best way possible.
I agree. I always was surprised when I would work at an agency and an account person would bring up a project or a project and a deadline, and the creative's answer would be, "Oh, no, 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 we can't do that." I think as we're building Copy and Art into the agency of the future and where we're going, I feel like our past and our future equal, like we're in the yes business. Whatever you can imagine as far as a client is concerned, or whatever you can brainstorm with a client as far as what could help move their business, Obviously, if it's innovative, it might not have ever been done, so it might be scary. But how do you feel like we approach kind of out of the box thinking or out of the box requests from our clients?
We embrace them. So if there's an out of the box request from a client, we certainly embrace that. We will delve deep into it. We take that back to a creative brainstorming session where you have all the different players from all the different teams sitting at the table, kind of brainstorming how we can elevate that, how we can get it done. So we are all about embracing an out of the box request. And I think even when the request doesn't come from the out of the box from the client, at Copy and Art, we strive to provide that out of the box experience. So while it may not be in the original request, I think our team still takes that time to brainstorm, and we always try to brainstorm one or two out of the box. Maybe the client will take it, maybe they won't, but it's just great for them to hear what's out there as a potential. And even if they don't take it that day, they maybe come back to us in 6 months and say, you know what, I've been thinking about that idea since you last spoke to me about it, and I'm ready for it now. So we are all about out of the box ideas, challenging. We are up for a challenge anytime, and we always want to be innovative, which lends itself to just out of the box thinking.
Fantastic. All right. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we stop the recording on how you elevate the client experience?
I think it is a pleasure to work with our clients. It's a pleasure and an honor. And that's the mentality that the client experience team goes in with. And I think that sets the stage for how we want to build a relationship for a client. We want to build this partnership. And that attitude means everything when we do moving forward.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that foundationally, it's a privilege to work with our clients. I feel like I think somebody did the actual analysis, but I know I believe it's over 2,000 agencies, maybe even nearby in that New York, New Jersey, Connecticut region. And so if you've chosen us, I feel like it's not a stretch to say that it's a privilege that you did so. And we take that privilege and I think we honor it at every stage of everything we do with our clients. And that's a differentiator when you think about big businesses and how they handle, let's say, $1 million scope of work or a $500,000 scope of work versus, and what that means to a big agency that might have 50 million under management versus a smaller agency, and what that means to them and how important your business is going to be at a 200 to $500,000 level, let's say, is very different from at Copy and Art than it would be, let's say, at a different agency. And I think that the fact that the leadership team is so close to every account, and that agility you spoke to earlier, Pam, I feel like that's a differentiator for us.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more. I believe that our expertise, our leadership presence, our agility, the flexibility we offer, and the nimble creative within the client's budget, whatever that may be, are really differentiating factors.
Absolutely, because what we do is really all in service of the client. And I
Yeah.
feel like, do you feel like every team member at Copy and Art believes that they're in the client service function?
I know they do. I've had conversations with them. We've talked about it as an agency. We are all in the client service business because at every step of the way, whether they actually face a client or not, they are serving that client and they're happy to do it. And that's what their goal is. So I can say with confidence that every single person in Copy and Art knows and is happy to be in the client service business.
All right. Well, I think mission accomplished. If you feel like mission accomplished,
I do. That was awesome. Yes.
that was totally awesome. If you want to stop recording in it, unless you have anything you want to ask or add, it's up to you.
I agree with Pam 100%. I feel like we all take a part and we supersede everything with such an honor and a privilege to attend any kind of client that we have. And we not only go above and beyond, we always make sure we have options and suggestions, and we try to think ahead and what they might need just in case they didn't think about it. So I think it's an honor as a team member that even if I don't deal directly, I might answer the email, answer the phone call, or welcome to our wonderful office. So I have a part in that too, and I'm very appreciative and super happy to be a part of this wonderful team. And I look forward to working with everyone together.
Well, case in point, I think that's a really good point that may not have even been mentioned today, which is this aspect of anticipation. And what role do you feel, Pam, since this was supposed to be your show, what role do you feel like, and that brings up a great point, what role does anticipation play in the job that we do with our clients?
I think we spend a tremendous amount of time trying to anticipate our clients' needs. From the second we begin working with them on a project, we've done the project many, many times. So although they might not know what may be coming down the sidewalk, we often know what's happening. So especially given where they are in the process, I think anticipating their needs and helping them navigate what they may need, or within their organization what they may need, is very important in my role.
Right, because it ensures that we're not just looking at the car that's right in front of us,
Yes.
but like down the road, so that we can really help them on that point. Well, thank you, Annette, for bringing that up, because I think that's a great point. And that is a big part of what we ask everyone to do here, is to not only think about the ask in front of you, but anticipating what could come as a result, or how we could further support our team member internally, or on the client level, which is the ultimate level, really.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Pam. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thank you, Annette, for assisting on this interview. And I hope that everybody enjoys. Yes.
Yes.